Hey there, it's Gladys, and hope you can hear me because there's wind and noise. It's the end of the day, and I left my AirPods at home. But I wanted to make sure that I took my walk, and I also wanted to make sure that I answered your burning question before the sun goes down. So, if you've noticed this week, there's been a theme, right? And the theme has been trust. And I got a really great question about intuition. So, intuition, a lot of women feel when they've made some mistakes in their lives, when they maybe made a choice and it ended up not being the best choice. Maybe they picked the wrong person. Maybe they've stayed in a relationship longer than they should have, or in a job. There's just been something that doesn't have them. Something happened that broke the trust that they have with themselves. And then that has them doubt themselves. It has them doubt their choices. It has them doubt the decisions that they make. And you might find, if you're resonating with this, that you might also find that it has you spend a lot of time in overthinking, overanalyzing, and I'm sure you've heard the term analysis paralysis, which means you're doing so much analyzing, overthinking, second guessing. You end up either not doing anything because you've now overwhelmed yourself, or you still feel too afraid to make the choice that there is to make. So the first thing is, as I've been talking about this week, is we've got to figure out what it was that happened that had you stop trusting yourself. Because a lot of women feel, oh, I've been in so many relationships, my intuition's broken, my picker is broken. And no, it's not. Your intuition is still there. Your mind and your body, by the way, are both giving you signals all the time. But unless we figure out why you keep second guessing yourself, talking yourself out of decisions that on some level feel like the right decision for you, or you keep being in this analyzing, overanalyzing paralysis that has you not do anything. And then what happens on the other side of that, and this may be you, is that then you make yourself wrong for not having had the courage or the discipline or the willpower to make the choice. So there's all of these things happening, and they all create like this big messy ball of yarn, because it's all connected. It all starts with something happened that had you not trust yourself. So that would be the first step. And a lot of times this is a blind spot. A blind spot is something that's in your subconscious that you don't see. It's virtually impossible to see it unless somebody helps you see it. Just like sometimes it's impossible to see the car that's next to you unless you look in your side view mirror. It's the same thing. Doesn't make you smarter or less smart if you have somebody help you to see it. It actually makes you more efficient, because then you don't end up slamming into the car next to you, or not making a choice that could really transform your life. So how do you know the difference? Like, how can you tell? First of all, if it's intuition, if it's really your body and your mind telling you something, giving you a sign. I say this a lot to our clients. When it's intuition, there are signs. There's evidence around you that this is probably a good choice to make. So it might be that somebody mentions the thing that you've been thinking, the very thing you've been thinking of. Somebody says something, they're like, oh my gosh, there's no way that they could have known that. And then it resonates in that's why I say it's your mind and your body, because your body really is where intuition is stored. It's that inner knowingness. And then you're like, I can't believe you just said that. I was just thinking about that. Or I've been actually thinking about making that choice. Second thing is, so first you got to notice, and then don't ignore it. Because pay attention to it. Don't go into your head and start spinning. Pay attention to it and listen. Actually ask yourself, like, what is this sensation in my body, or this recurring thought really trying to tell me? Because I forgot to say before, I got a little distracted with the noise around me, is that what I tell my clients is when it's intuition, there are signs, there's evidence around you. When it's fear, you're making up the evidence. So you're projecting into the future. You're going into the past, into something that happened, and you're not here in the present moment, paying attention and listening for that message that your mind and body are telling you. And then the other thing is you actually want to spend enough time not over analyzing. Just sit still with what you're perceiving as an intuitive sensation, an intuitive thought, and say, how does this feel in my nervous system? How does this feel within me? Now, you might still feel nervous, scared, excited if it's a big change, but the only difference between fear and excitement is a smile. You have the same exact biological sensations. You have like shortness of breath, your heart might be palpitating, you might get sweaty palms. There's like this elevated level of energy in your body. The only difference is when you're terrified, you look at like your face is concerned, and when you're excited, you're smiling. So take the time to be intimate with yourself long enough to see, how is this landing in my nervous system? And then if you're still not sure, reach out to a coach or mentor, not for them to give you the answer or the advice, but for them to guide you in making the choice that actually feels best for you. All right, that's today's burning question, and I'll see you tomorrow on tomorrow's burning question. Bye for now.